Amara Chidubem was the kind of woman people didn't just admire, they remembered her. With skin the color of polished bronze, eyes that held fire and gentleness at once, and the presence that could silence a room. She wasn't just beautiful, she was magnetic. At just 25 years old, Amara was already a household name in the Nigerian fashion space. She wasn't born into wealth, but she was born into a family that believed in hard work, prayer, and potential, and Amara was their brightest light. She started the fashion brand House of Amara with nothing but an old sewing machine and dreams taller than skyscrapers. In just 3 years, she was making bespoke dresses for Nollywood stars and top influencers. She had interviews lined up with Bella Niger, and her designs were featured in wedding blogs across Africa. She had plans to open a showroom in Lekki. Her parents had stopped working, not because they had to, but because Amara wouldn't let them. She called her mother every day, sent her weekly allowance, paid her siblings' school fees, and had just bought land to start building her dream studio. But a quiet Thursday evening, everything changed. It was with a sharp pain in her abdomen. At first, she dismissed it. Maybe it was something she ate, or just stress. After all, Fashion Week was around the corner. She had deadlines, clients to satisfy, staff to supervise. She took painkillers and pushed through it. By the next morning, she couldn't stand upright. Her assistant rushed her to the Federal Teaching Hospital in town, a place people only went when there were no other options. She was vomiting, feverish, and clutching her side in agony. Everyone knew it was serious. Everyone except the staff. She arrived at the emergency ward around 9:15 a.m. There was no doctor in sight. Nurses were laughing in the corridor, chatting over meat pie and soft drinks. One of them glanced at Amara and said, "You'll have to open a file first. We can't do anything without a file." They handed her assistant a dirty brown folder and told her to go to records. Meanwhile, Amara was in excruciating pain. She lay across a broken bench in the waiting area, sweating and murmuring prayers through gritted teeth. Hours passed. A junior doctor finally saw her at 1 p.m. His first words, "You are lucky you came early. It might be appendicitis." But there were no beds available, no scan machine working, no urgency. They asked her to go outside the hospital to pay for an ultrasound at a private center. She did. The results confirmed it. Her appendix had ruptured. Immediately, surgery was needed. But by the time they returned to the hospital, the doctor had gone off duty. "Come back tomorrow morning," they said. That night, Amara screamed in pain. She couldn't sleep, couldn't breathe properly. Her family begged. Her assistant pleaded. A nurse finally gave her paracetamol. The next morning, they began requesting theater items. 6 gloves, 2 syringes, IV fluids, catheters, a pint of blood, surgical blades, cotton wool. Everything, nothing was available in the hospital. Her family spent hours running around, trying to gather everything they could. By the time the surgery was done, a full 28 hours after her rupture, Amara was gone. She died on the operating table from septicemia. No announcement, no explanation, just a nod from the doctor who emerged from the theater and muttered, "We lost her." And that was it. A life full of light, taken without warning. A girl with a future so bright, killed by a slow, broken, heartless system. Her family was shattered. Her mother didn't speak for days. Her father walked around the compound in silence, holding a framed photo like a sacred text. Staff and clients cried outside the hospital gate. Instagram flooded with tributes, and the hospital, they moved on to the next patient. No apology, no investigation, no responsibility. This is the reality of many Nigerian hospitals. You walk in with pain, you leave in with a body bag, all because of incompetence, carelessness, and a system that sees human lives as statistics. Amara didn't die because her condition was untreatable. She died because nobody cared enough to act. She died because her life was placed in the hands of a hospital that should have saved her but didn't. Now she is another tragic name, added to the endless list of young Nigerians killed by the very institution meant to save and preserve life. But we must remember her. Her name was Amara. She had dreams, talent, and a future, and they let her die.